It's great to have you on the program. First off, you probably heard the previous segment. Let's talk about this. The Bill Gross, the idea guy, not the bond guy, coming up with this idea about how to sort of really target solar power. What did you see in Heliogen that made it so attractive to your SPAC, Athena?
Well, I'll tell you this. We looked at over a dozen companies, and we had very, very strict criteria. What we looked for, we were looking for strong technical capabilities, innovation, an ability to scale. And when we had an opportunity to talk to Bill Gross and his team, they checked every single box. And what got us really excited about it is that our SPAC had a lot of technical expertise, and we wanted to deploy that. We wanted to work with a company that we felt like we could bring something to the table. And I'll tell you what was exciting is that we found that Bill Gross was solving a very old, complicated problem. And how was he doing that? He was using AI, computer vision, and other advanced technologies to make solar wind and solar power more scalable, less dependent on the sun shining or the wind blowing. And so he has come up with this advanced technology and a concept that's game changing. And we were also looking for something that was going to be very, very disruptive in the energy. And we believe that this technology is very disruptive in this industry.
Yeah, and it's not just about solar. It also is solar to use what they call green. There's different types of hydrogen, and it's 5:40 in the morning. So without sort of going into the science, you don't want to bore our viewers back to sleep. But green hydrogen, sort of the more renewable, sustainable kind, using it to power that. I feel like, and I do a lot of energy reporting, Phyllis, that maybe the power of hydrogen is not reported enough.
Absolutely. And it's a technology that's more efficient and economical than the traditional solar energy generation. And so the ultimate goal here is to replace fossil fuel and be powered, the energy powered by the sunlight. That's what the ultimate goal is. So if you think of Heliogen, they really solved the old problem. You know, computer vision has been around for a long time, but they found a way to use those advanced technologies to solve that very, very, very complicated problem in the industry.
Yeah, and also this, you mentioned AI, artificial intelligence earlier, Phyllis, because your background, 22-year Army vet, but then you transition, you've got Extreme Solutions, you've been there 20 years, cybersecurity and IT firm as well, kind of plays in together. I want to ask you a question about that because you've got both the sort of military background and cybersecurity. Where do we go on policy regarding all these hacks by foreign actors that we are seeing, Phyllis? I mean, if you can shut down the biggest pipeline in the United States and your back door of Atlanta, right? We need the gas to come through Atlanta up here to New Jersey.
Absolutely.
What kind of policy changes do we need to make?
I think, I think we're going to see a lot of more strict governance and compliance around companies and holding them accountable. Because I would just give you an example. Within the last 2 years, we've seen over a 7,000% increase in ransomware attacks. And why is that happening?
Wow.
Well, if you look at what happened to the world, it changed. We went to a rapid work from home, remote organizations. Even the largest organizations were not prepared for to work from home, and so that's created a lot of problems in terms of usage of networks and not having strict health hygiene around using networks, and organizations just weren't prepared. So what I see for the future, I see a lot of governance and compliance that's going to hold companies accountable. Because if you look at the cyber field alone, there's a shortage in this field as well. And so you're having a 7,000% increase in cyber attacks. I think you're going to see strict governance.